Today's segment of Oh Brother is sponsored by Warblog Eagle, the entertaining blog that provides you with everything you need to know about what's happening in the world of Auburn athletics. Read it on the web at www.warblogeagle.com.
So southern,
welcome into the Wednesday edition of Oh Brother. I'm Will Lochamy along with Reed Lochamy. Reed, how's your Wednesday going?
Well, it's going pretty well, Will. It's an exciting week here because not only is tomorrow Thanksgiving, and of course we'll be having Barbara Dooley on to answer questions about college football coaches she has known, but also, on Friday, Iron Bowl. Very exciting.
Yeah, we are 2 days away from the Iron Bowl. Good stuff. And so in honor of that, we've got a video today on the website for all you Auburn fans. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a don't let the dream die kind of, don't give up on hope,
Yeah.
Believe. Isn't that what it says over there in the video? Believe.
If you are an Auburn fan and you are trying to think good thoughts about Friday's game, which is difficult, then what you can do is go to obrotherradio.com, and there's a video there you can watch. And Will, also today we have a very special guest here on Oh Brother that relates to Auburn football.
We do. Former punter for the Auburn Tigers, Kody Bliss, joins us now. Cody, how you doing?
Doing great. How are you guys doing?
Good. Now, are you going to go to the Iron Bowl Friday?
I am not. I'm traveling up to Nashville to visit family for the Thanksgiving holiday, so I'm going to be watching it in the nice HD up there.
Gotcha.
Nice. Now, Cody, you just said that you're planning on watching the game. Do you think that's a smart idea? I mean, it looks like Auburn is pretty much headed for another crushing defeat this year. That seems to be the conventional wisdom. What's your outlook on the game?
Well, I think that's what a lot of people, especially here in Birmingham, are going to say. But there's always the outside chance. There's things they need to do to have a win. In my opinion, Chris Todd needs to play well. We need to get about 3 turnovers and convert some points, and things got to bounce our way, but they're definitely a strong team, and that's what you got to deal with.
Yeah, it seems like Chris Todd has almost been a Jekyll and Hyde sort of character this year. Some first 5 games he looks, fantastic, and he goes through that horrible 3-game stint. What do you think the deal is with that?
When I was watching the Tennessee game, there was a play somewhere in there in about the middle of the game where he, kind of landed on his shoulder, kind of got up holding it, and and then all of a sudden he has 3 games where he looks like last year. And, I'm not a doctor or anything, but it would seem like it could have been something where he had injured that shoulder and maybe now he's better.
I was totally convinced that he was hurt. There was no doubt about it in my mind, but the way he's throwing the ball the past few games, it does look like if he was hurt, he's definitely better. Now, Auburn, having a so-so season, I think it's what a lot of people predicted. Possibly the 7-5, maybe 8-4 if you're a super optimist. Now recruiting though is looking better than predicted. What are you thinking about the future for the Auburn Tigers?
Oh, it's looking great. They're getting a bunch of playmakers, and I think that has a lot to do with the new coaching staff and Gus Malzahn being kind of the one of the most popular offensive coordinators right now. They're getting a lot of playmakers. They still need to do a good job of getting some offensive linemen and some secondary help towards the end of recruiting, but right now, it's looking like the future may be pretty bright.
Well, here's my question, because, and Cody, you may have an interesting perspective on this because of having played under him, but at the end of Tommy Tuberville's tenure there at Auburn, a lot of people, there were some, bitter feelings, things of that nature. What do you think about that whole turnaround from that coaching staff to the new one as far as the direction the program has taken? What are your thoughts as having been someone that was there, before the change was made?
Well, even at the beginning, I thought Gene Chizik was a great hire. I think the only problem they had was kind of going about it the wrong way. They brought in a bunch of the big names from around, thrown out a lot of names, and never threw him out. It was kind of just thrown upon the Auburn fans. Just all of a sudden say, hey, we're hiring Chizik. I think if they had mentioned his name at the beginning as a possible candidate, I think it would have been accepted more. But they've done a good job of really doing a great job recruiting, doing everything they can to make the system work. I think they've got a lot of people on their side.
All right, so the way that your coaching staff's career ended, kind of abruptly also, how did you feel about that?
That's just kind of the nature of the game. There's not a lot of college coaches that get 10 years at a university. And I think that says a lot about the quality of those coaches. I'm of the mind that I believe Tuberville's probably going to be back somewhere next year coaching. So it's kind of one of those things. Most coaches only stick around places 2-3 years, and if they do well, maybe 5.
Interesting.
So to be able to stick around for 10 in the SEC, he was one of the longest tenured coaches of that.
Yeah, pretty impressive, no doubt about it. Now, Kody, I noticed I was looking at your Wikipedia page. Have you looked at that, by the way?
I have seen that, yes.
Yeah, and I noticed one of the most interesting things to me on there was it suggested or said that you were at one time affiliated with a CFL team. And for people who don't know, CFL is kind of like football, I guess
Except
you would
a weird version, a weird Canadian version.
Yeah, it's a bigger field, 12 players. There's actually starting to be quite a few Auburn players up there. I know Trey Smith's been really doing well. Preche Rodriguez is one of the top receivers up there now. Damon Duvall's been up there for a few years.
Huh.
And yeah, when I came out, I didn't land on an NFL team, and I had an opportunity to go up there and had fun up there for a couple months.
Now, it said you played with the Edmonton Eskimos, and here's my question. How many words did that team have for touchdown?
How many words?
Yeah, you hear that Eskimos have like 190 words for snow. I wonder how many they have for touchdown. Yeah.
Well, that was the thing, is about half the team spoke French as their primary language. So
I guess
there was, some of them would barely be able to speak English. A lot of them would, if they just wanted to talk to their French buddies, would just speak in French, and you're just in there kind of out of the loop.
So probably at least 2 words then. I guess touchdown and whatever French is for touchdown.
Maybe les touchdowns or something like that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, now, Kody, you're the first punter we've had on the show, so we wanted to ask you, how often did you practice the fake fall down?
Well, actually, that's one of the things I was naturally gifted at. When I was in high school, I actually got a lot of the roughing the punter penalty.
Is that taught? Is that an honest to God taught thing?
It's not really a taught thing as much as it is just a take one for the team kind of thing,
Right.
In that I run a bunch of kicking camps around here and help out a lot of the high school kickers, and that's one of the things I tell them sometimes. If you have a heavy rush coming, you get the ball off fast, lead your leg up there, kind of make yourself big and let someone run into you and do a flip and then grab something like you're hurt. Try to get a flag.
Now, Kody, I know that a lot of kickers, and maybe not so much punters as much as place kickers, but a lot of kickers are former soccer players. Is that true with you?
Absolutely. I started playing soccer actually because I had one of the strongest legs, on the kickball field actually.
Oh,
and
nice.
And then when I went out to soccer, I had the strongest leg out there, and so when I started playing football, I was like, in middle school, I told the coach, I was like, hey, on top of being a decent athlete, I can kick a ball pretty far away. You want me to do that? And I started there and just had the natural ability from all that.
Well, the reason I ask you about that is because it's well documented that I've got some qualms with soccer, to be honest with you. And I happened to watch a few minutes of soccer just the other night. And
really? Why'd you do that?
What was that?
I said, why'd you do that?
Well, it was an accident, to be honest with you. I was having some
gotcha.
insomnia, and I figured that soccer would put me right to sleep.
Kind of like women's basketball. Gotcha.
Yeah, and I was amazed by with these soccer players pretending to be hurt, and I guess that's what explains the punting. I mean, it's like that has seeped into American rules football. These soccer players, pretending to be hurt. It's crazy.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of some of the quarterbacks have started to do that now too. With Brady. If he gets touched, he'll fall down and yell at the refs. I mean, it started to carry over into a lot of the big time guys too. It's just something, if you can get a penalty and help out the team,